As Christians, how do we define life and death? We can easily recognize the physical definitions. When we are alive, we breathe, maintain a stable internal environment, grow, develop, and reproduce, and respond to stimuli. When we are dead, our biological functions cease. We lose the ability to maintain homeostasis, and there's no metabolic activity. The distinction between life and death is clear, absolute, and eternal. However, the meaning of life and death for Christians carries even greater significance. Simply put, life is connection with God, while death is a separation from Him. It is as serious as breathing and not breathing. Life is being one with God, and death is alienation from God. It is essential to keep this definition in mind as you go through life. Ask yourself, am I dead or alive? Reflect on this question as you make decisions and take action. Next, how do we connect to God? And how do we alienate ourselves from Him? In every situation you encounter, you are connected to God when you think about Him and follow His commands. This is a conditional relationship. You must do the right thing to achieve the desired outcome. You must obey in order to connect. Genuine connection to God doesn't occur by mere desire or wishful thinking. When God commands you to act, you must do it. Conversely, how do we alienate ourselves from God? How do we experience death as Christians? When we sin, we separate ourselves from God. We are effectively dead in that moment. Sin leads to a feeling of solitude, helplessness, despair, and darkness. These are the consequences of turning away from God. Do not rationalize bad behavior. It has real consequences. Sin separates us from God, and in that separation, we experience a profound sense of death. Remember, we have a choice to live or die in every situation we face. If we listen to His voice and follow His commands, we maintain our connection to God. We are alive, filled with hope, joy, and endless possibilities. We can trust that things will work out because God is there to help us. However, when we sin, it is crucial to recognize this. At that very moment, God is absent from our lives. We find ourselves isolated and alone, forced to fend for ourselves. We are left in a state of despair, hopeless, and alienated from God, facing the challenges of the world on our own. Life is not merely a sequence of trivial events. Every situation you encounter represents a matter of life and death. You can choose to connect to God and live a fulfilling, joyful life, or you can choose to sin and experience misery, alienated from God and devoid from hope. The choice is yours.